Smoke QD, that's admirable, or tweet at Play Hearthstone. We'll take a look at those.
Also, if you have any crazy clips of stuff that you've been doing in the Witchwood,
oh, hell yeah.
I want to know about that too. Hashtag well played.
All right, well, let's get into it. Apologies for the delay. We were just waiting for the players to get set up with their new decks. So game number 1, we're going to start off with RDU on what looks to be an Odd Cost Paladin, and Firebat on the Shudderwalk Shaman. I like to refer to it as Jambalaya Shaman.
I mean, it's very much like a jambalaya. You know, you got to put the stuff together and cook it up, and at the end of the day, if you put in the right ingredients and made the process right, you come up with a pretty tasty meal at the end.
Yeah, you win the meal.
Yeah. They say that jambalaya is the
key that unlocks the door to Mage Paradise.
Sure. Just recycle like a 3-year-old joke that we haven't told. If you've been watching TJ and I for 3 years and you still get that, my hat's off to you. You're a true friend.
Yeah, you specifically, the one guy.
That's right, Phil.
Thanks, Phil. Oh man, those Marsh Drakes. Clutch.
Marstrike is good when you got Light's Justice.
You know what's also good though is 2 Silverhand recruits.
Yeah. You know what else is good? Pair of Fireflies. You know what else is really good?
Jambalaya.
That's exactly what I was. God, you read me like a book. How'd you know I was going to say that?
I could see it in your face. You gave me the Jambalaya face.
That's what they always say.
All right, well, for those of you who do not know how Shudderwalk Shaman works, I don't even know if I want to explain it right now.
So I'll explain it for you then. So Shudderwalk is a 9-mana Shaman legendary. It's a 6/6, and it says Battle Cry. Replay all the Battle Cries that you've played previously this game. So the deck is trying to stack up on that in a spectacular manner. You play Saronite Chain Gangs, means that Shudderwalk will summon copies of himself. You play the Murmuring Elemental, it means that it's going to proc Battle Cries twice on the next ones you play. You play Grumble, returns all your other minions in play into your hand and makes them 1 mana. Well, if you've summoned a copy of that with Saronite Chain Gang and then Grumble happens, you get a 1-cost Shudderwalk in your hand. You combine that with some Life Drinkers to start hitting your opponent for 3 and gaining 3 health, and suddenly you've amassed a major stabilizing tool that also kills your opponent in the process. So the whole deck is dedicated to basically clearing out the board state, drawing lots of cards, and assembling this ultimate combo of pieces that you have to chain together turn after turn.
Nice explanation.
How does Odd Cost Paladin work, TJ?
Well, Baku the Moon Eater, 9 mana, 7/9. If your deck contains only odd cost cards, it upgrades your hero power at the start of the game. For Paladin, that means instead of summoning 1 Silverhand recruit for 2 mana, you summon 2 Silverhand recruits for 2 mana.
That's double the price. Same cost for double the product.
Buy one, get one free.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, and you know, Paladin still has a lot of very powerful cards at the odd cost range, and just the fact that you can flood the board so quickly so early on and have multiple ways to buff up your Silverhand recruits with level up. Some players are playing Sword of Justice, some players are playing Raid Leader with Stormwind Champion. You can flood the board so much that it overwhelms your opponent and get in a lot of damage very quickly on in the game. It just sort of makes all of those Silverhand recruit buff combos even more consistent and even more powerful, because at any stage in the game you likely have more. And that affects snowballs. Like in the past, where if your opponent just removed 1, they could just remove 1 every turn, you were fine.
Yeah.
But it's doubling up every single turn. You remove 1, they summon 2 more, so they have 3 now, and you just can't keep up.
It's like Firebat's trying to keep up pretty nicely here, though.
Yeah, he was able to get that Doomsayer off early on in the game, which stifled the pressure from RDU.
And plus, if this Life Drinker doesn't bite the dust, that means he can Grumble that. Get that Grumble in the Battle Cry pool.
Yeah.
Get some extra Life Drinkers there. Prince Liam joining the hand for RDU. 5-cost Paladin Legendary. It's a 5/5, and it says, all your remaining 1-cost cards in your deck turn into random legendaries. That's crazy.
It gives you some extra gas in long games, especially if you need value games. And you know, sometimes it's not the greatest, but a lot of times as the game goes longer, you'd much rather have any random legendary, maybe besides Millhouse Manastorm if your opponent's playing a spell-heavy deck, than a Argent Squire, or a Light's Justice, or a Lost in the Jungle, for instance.
In the meantime, it's blow stuff up and draw cards for Firebat. That's the name of this game plan. And notice that he's paying particular attention to the Silverhand recruits rather than Corridor Creeper, the larger minion play. That's largely because of cards like Level Up. +2/+2 and Taunt to all Silverhand recruits that are in play. So he's trying to take away some of RDU's power play potential by paying attention to these. So, the trade-off is that he'll take a little bit more damage here and there, but overall, he's looking to just shut down the big swing turns that RDU can have.
Yep. And taking the opportunity to get Grumble out of the way early. A lot of times Grumble is not played for too much value because the point of the card is really just to get Grumble's Battle Cry into the pool of Battle Cries for Shudderwalk later in the game. He gets the added bonus this turn of being able to get Life Drinker back, which is one of the better Battle Cries for the deck because it actually ties into your win condition.
Yeah.
Because you're dealing damage and healing every time you play one of those Shudderwalks later in the game. And if you assembled the combo correctly, you can essentially OTK, one-turn kill your opponent because you had enough Life Triggers and enough Shudderwalks being played because of Grumble to kill your opponent.
Yeah.
So it often takes a while.
No, very quickly.
Sometimes upwards of 3, 4.
Look, big deal.
4.5 minutes.
You want to play 2 Starlight Chain Gangs, it's 8 mana. You want to play 2 Life Drinkers, 8 more mana, so it's 16 mana. You want to play Grumble, takes up 24 mana. You want to play Shudderwalk, that's 9 more. It's only 33 mana worth of cards to get.
No, I meant the actual animation process.
Oh, yeah, that takes years. Hard to stop Level Up. And now RDU's beating down the door. Firebat, pair of Lightning Storms now, though.
Yeah.
We're letting one rip. He's holding on to the second one. He's going, probably going to have to use this one, too.
I mean, Firebat's got a really good board lead here.
He's hitting for 7.
He's hitting for 7, and he's hitting it for an additional 3. Plus, he has 10 damage on board. So there may be a chance that he just kills him.
Is there any chance he ever goes for like a crazy volcano lethal, where he's like, my Grumble lives, got him. Like, say there's enough health on the board that Grumble could technically live. He's got 10 damage here. RDU's going to be at 2.
He can just scuttle on down the healing rain here. He can make it rain.
He can technically make it in-game rain, yes. He does have that option. I'm looking at that little loot hoarder, though. That's 2 more damage.
And a card.
Grumble's not checked right now. I mean, Grumble requires 2 trades in this position. If he rolls a Taunt Totem...
Mind if I roll need?
Sometimes you just forget Grumble's a 7/7 as well. Like,
for 6 mana.
Yeah, like that's a big card. It returned the Life Trigger for the Battle Cry again, too. So, I mean, that card alone has dealt 17 damage now?
Yeah. And now as soon as Firebat draws another Life Drinker or a Shudderwalk, he wins the game.
Or if RDU just can't handle the board like his hand is right now?
He
can't kill everything. He's just dead.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
He can't kill the loot hoarder.
You're right.
Shaman's too slow. And this is, talking about this going into Firebat's match, he will get aggressive at times where he just looks at it and goes, hey, this is pretty good. And